So I realized that haven't released any version of the project browser lately. I had done a few beta updates, but there was even a beta update that I didn't release, and I haven't done any actual like standard updates in a while. So let's rectify that. So we're going to look at what's new in version 0.3.2 today. So you will get a notice up here. That's probably how you got to this video. Let's look at the first thing that you might want to play with. So I'm going to hover over these notes here, and I'm going to right click on this one, and there's two priorities here that you can set. So high and low. So I'm going to set this one to high, and you'll notice it adopts a little coloring that makes it pop out very slightly. I'm going to set this one to high, and I might set this one to low and this one to low, and you notice the low ones get faded out a little bit. So that's priorities. We can do it in any of these sections. I'll set that one to high. You notice that that particular section reordered based on those priorities. And that's where we can introduce the quick menu. So up here, you'll notice if I hover here, we get this quick menu up here. The first one says it's currently ordering by alias or file name. The second one says it's grouping the priorities. So the high priorities get grouped at the start and the low priorities get grouped at the end. So I'll do that down here as well. This one says show priorities. I'll click it there and it changes to group priorities. So now you can see the high ones are at the start, the low ones are at the end, and within those groups, so high, standard, and low, it's ordering according to alias and file name. What's next? So then we've got the view type. So currently this is set to list. If I click that, it changes, and we see it change to a detailed cards view. We see it change to a simple cards view, and we see it change to a small cards view. And if I click it again, it changes back to list. So it just cycles through these properties so you can really quickly find the one you want. I'll change it back to this one. No, I'll change it to this one. And then we can do that for each of them. So that first one, alias or file name, let me ungroup the priorities. So I'll say hide priorities. So now the priorities aren't visible. The first one says alias or file name. I'll change that ordering to creation date or modified date or alias or file name again. And then if I click on hide priorities, it changes from hide priorities to show priorities in place. And then if I click it again, it changes from show priorities to group priorities. So pretty easy to get a view that you want. And if you close this and you go back into it, it remembers those settings based on the section and the folder that you're in. So what else? The markdown, the detailed cards view no longer shows markdown in there. So I'm not sure which one of these had markdown, but it no longer shows in there. So it just shows the snippet of text. The initial state sometimes wasn't applied. So if I go new note here, now it applies that state immediately. So we've got an untitled note in final. And then lastly, I fixed some errors in the styling of notices, but you would have seen that already. The notices probably looked a little bit better to you when it came in with the updates. That's it. You'll also notice in the update, it said that there is multi-page feature coming in the next version. So version 0.4 will support multiple pages. So what that means is you'll be able to click on a note here, and then if you want to add another page to this note, you'll be able to do that as well. And let's see what that looks like in the next version. I've got a good plan for it. That's it. Thanks everyone.